What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua, Jermaine Franklin. This is the official fight prediction and breakdown between these two warriors, these two heavyweights. And first off, we have, of course, as you guys can see, the tell of the tape, we have Anthony Joshua coming in at age 33. Jermaine Franklin at age 29. Okay, so that's advantage Franklin. 27 fights compared to 22 fights. Okay, and Anthony Joshua, okay, that's advantage Joshua. Wins 24 versus 21 wins from Jermaine Franklin. Now that could be up in the air from wins, right? Losses 3 to 1 loss for Jermaine Franklin. Now, the record is definitely better for Jermaine Franklin. I remember Joshua had 1 loss for about a year and a half, right? They both have no draws, so there's been no controversial decisions, so to speak. As probably except for the Dillian White on Franklin's behalf. 22 knockouts for Joshua versus 14 for Jermaine Franklin, and that shows the difference in punching power between the two. 6'6" in height, 6'2" in height for Jermaine Franklin, 4-inch difference in height there. Joshua has him by a good bit. 170 or 17 stones, 1 pound in weight, then 18 stones and 3 pounds in weight for Jermaine Franklin. However, we've known that he's lost 24 pounds. Okay, so that's a difference. And 17 stones, I'm not really quite sure what that is, honestly. 18 inches in reach, 77 inches in reach for the arm. AJ's the nickname, 989 Assassin for Jermaine Franklin. And looking at this, we are looking still at a shorter fighter versus a taller fighter. And what we've learned about Jermaine Franklin, he's game, he's fast, he's quick. He can get off on that jab. He uses that jab. He has good boxing fundamentals. So does AJ. I think AJ can come in and out. I think this fight here will be a pretty good fight. I think it depends on how Jermaine Franklin fights Joshua. Okay. And the first thing I thought of when I did see or hear that Jermaine Franklin lost a lot of weight was because he needed to do a certain or fight a certain type of fight. I think he needs to work the body. I think he needs to jab with AJ, okay, jab with the jabber, because I think AJ will throw a lot of jabs in this fight. I think AJ will try to duplicate the fight that he fought with Andy Ruiz, okay, because this isn't a guy that has a lot of quick head movement, and then that's going to be a problem for Jermaine Franklin if he can't get that head off that line. If he can't get that head off that line, he's going to get popped with the jab, and he's going to lose with the jab all by itself, okay, because one thing about the old AJ versus the one that we have now, which we don't really know which fight, the AJ that we've known recent, let's put it that way, is that AJ's not going to overcommit anything anymore. He's not going to put himself in harm's way when he can just score. And I think what he learned from his first loss and then the rematch with Andy Ruiz is that he was beating Andy anyway. See, he could have boxed Andy from the next 3 rounds on fourth and won that fight without engaging. So AJ might have that type of mindset. But then again, he might not. He might have that Errol Spence, let me go in, break you down, beat you up type of mindset, which Derek James may or may not taught him. Okay, so if you don't see AJ go in and do that aggressive style, that's just a Errol Spence trademark. Go in and beat you up, go work to the body, look good doing it, right? And keep the pressure on. Well, with AJ, if AJ sees that Jermaine Franklin can't move his head, he's just going to jab from a distance, You see he has the reach, definitely. So he's gonna keep that jab in his face, and set up that right hand. He'll probably go to the body with it at times, but the jab will take you around the world. Okay. Now Jermaine Franklin has to get close enough. Now, mind you, Jermaine has to wait for certain points. That's if he doesn't take the initiative and go in on Joshua. And I think he should be mid to close range on Joshua. Now, what he could do, he could get up under the jab, using head movement, upper body movement, and ripping left hooks to the body and upstairs, preferably upstairs if he's throwing jabs at Jermaine Franklin. Jermaine Franklin knows to get up under that jab. So what we've seen from Jermaine Franklin is a lot of strength and conditioning. But what we haven't seen, which we don't really supposed to see, to be fair, is Jermaine Franklin working on his defense. So I think if Jermaine Franklin's going to be victorious, he should definitely have head movement. Now, punching power. And here's another scar or stripe against Jermaine Franklin. Well, we seen Jermaine Franklin get hurt in the 12th round against Dillian Whyte, when Dillian Whyte just started and when he just threw all caution to the wind and tried to get the knockout. And that's one thing I do love about Dillian Whyte. At some point, Dillian Whyte is just going to be Dillian Whyte. He's just going to start throwing shots down, and he was starting to catch Jermaine Franklin. And Jermaine Franklin proved to be tough, though, but he also proved that he can be hurt. Okay, so keep that in mind. So Jermaine Franklin is a tough kid from Michigan. Most Michigan kids are tough, but he proved that he can be hurt, because he was hurt. And I don't know if that was more fatigue or more from a punch. Maybe I think it was a little bit of both, to be fair. I think that at the end of the day, at the very end of the day, I feel that Jermaine Franklin could get hit with something that he doesn't like. But then again, Jermaine Franklin, though, is a guy that you see when he was hurt by Dillian Whyte, he didn't give up either. So it was just when that exchange started where Dillian Whyte did knock him against the ropes and he did that long lean and things like that, he did come back with a shot. Okay, I don't think that he was too far from getting or going down. We don't know. We don't know how he was, because we know that he lasted through the fight. So either way, it's going to be a tough and rugged fight, unless AJ hits him with something that hurts him viciously. Then we'll know the punching power, and then we can definitely judge the punching power of AJ versus Dillian Whyte. But again, Dillian